Welcome into the Slobberknocker Sports Podcast, episode 88, I think, because we've been gone for 2 weeks.
Sounds
again.
right. It's 80-something.
We've only had 2 episodes the last month. We went on, week off, so we're back.
Well, now that you're a baseball guy, maybe we can have one every week.
Well, when you put a little money on it, it starts to get a little more interesting. I will say...
Never had more baseball questions in my life from you this week. Well, what do you think about this and that? I'm like, oh, man, I don't know.
You're like, I'm
retired. I haven't been watching a ton.
If you're not,
I watch the Astros when I can because I actually obviously like baseball. But yeah, other than that, I'm definitely not just watching rando teams play.
I don't mind looking. I like numbers, so I don't mind like looking at stuff. But I'll put a game on and I have a first 5 bet, and the second the 5 innings is over, I turn it off and do not check who won. Like, it's the opposite of any. Like, if I'm watching a football game, I have a first half bet, I'm going to watch the whole game.
It's disrespectful.
Completely different than baseball. I do not give a shit.
Disrespectful to the game.
I don't think they
give a shit. And the baseball gods will punish you for it.
Yeah, maybe they will. Okay. We don't have a ton of stuff to talk about, so we're going to do a bunch of little segments here. We'll do some NFL, some college football, because we're approaching the season. That's the next thing coming up. NBA offseason in full swing. The NBA draft occurred, I believe, since our last podcast.
Yep.
So we can talk a little bit about the picks, and we'll do like an hour show and get out of here. So that's what we're going to do. Let's start with an interesting topic. I don't know, I guess you could call this the head scratcher of the week. It's not really the best thing I saw this week, but it is interesting, and it's a fun topic, interesting topic. So this is Luis Ortiz, and he is a pitcher for the Cleveland Guardians. This guy, we looked it up before the show, makes less than $800,000 a year on his contract. He seems to be a starter on the team, but regardless, a couple months ago, there was a large amount of money bet on the first pitch of one of his games that he started to be a ball. The first pitch that he threw, and I'll play it right here. This is the first one. Let me go back. This is the first game. Pretty low, pretty outside, not like horribly suspicious, but it was a pretty bad ball.
No, yeah, that's honestly like if you're trying to, cook the books and rig up and what he's thinking, he's like, hey, you know what? I make a little extra money on the side for my buddy. I'll make a few extra bucks. All I'm doing is throwing ball one, right?
Right.
I'm not doing anything to hurt my ball club. I'm just throwing this down and away, ball one, and then going about my business.
Right.
But yeah, let's check out the second pitch.
one.
Yeah.
And the second one, this happened again. Apparently, in 3 different states, there was a large amount of money bet on the first pitch to be a ball.
They're probably all Dominicans. I don't know where Luis Ortiz is from, but he's from one of those places.
There's a good probability that he is from there.
He's either from I don't know. He could be from one of those South American countries.
Here's the pitch a couple days ago.
Yeah,
that's
an absolute fucking lawn dart. I mean, that's a problem. Is like, here's the thing too.
You just really didn't want to fuck it up and throw a strike by accident.
Right. And I don't know if someone's threatening his family. It could be the Lance McCullers treatment. But you gotta make it look a little bit better than that. If you throw say you're throwing that first one low, that's like a good, like, okay, yeah, missed it.
Yeah.
First one, why are you throwing a slider? Whatever. But like the second one, after you miss there the first time, and like you got to miss with that pitch, a fastball, like high.
Right.
You got to miss with it a little bit high. And here's the thing, say 1 in every 5 you fuck up and you accidentally throw a strike, you got to make it look kind of believable.
Right.
You can't just be throwing them into the ground.
Right.
But these guys don't realize how dumb they are. Like, they think that this is like 1950 and it's, where you can't track this stuff.
Yeah, it's just
it's
so
the
easy
easiest
now.
thing ever that it's like, hey, I don't know if you saw the first pitch, but it's worse. Like, and they'll look at it and be like, oh yeah, weirdly enough, like, and the algorithm probably pointed out even before he did, made
sure,
that
it's probably
pitch.
there's a large amount of money bet on this. It's abnormal.
And listen, those bets, as we know, are when someone's like betting $10 and it's like in a parlay with like 5 other different things. So if it's just a large sum of money on a single, it's going to be a ball first
huge
pitch.
Flag. Yeah,
it's a huge red flag, and it just an idiot.
I'm curious to the rest of the game. Like, if it were me, I'm just thinking like, fuck, I threw that way too low. That was really egregious. I got to throw another 1 or 2 of those the rest of the game to make it look like it wasn't just that pitch. Like, I wonder if he threw a really bad ball the rest of the game, if he's dumb enough to just throw a normal. Because that, to me, I don't even think that's debatable. I think that was intentional. I mean, that's the first pitch of the game. I don't know. That seemed pretty bad to me. I don't. You don't see MLB pitchers miss like that very often. It's very,
never.
very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, they're missing by like very small margins. So
definitely.
But yeah, it's the day and age we live in. Like, this is happening across sports. We've seen it in college baseball with that Alabama scandal. We saw it with Michael Porter Jr.'s brother.
Right.
And
it's so funny because, for years, this is the reason why, we really didn't have this, because people are like, oh, this is going to be, people think it's going to ruin the game or the integrity of the game with it just being everywhere. And, I'm not saying that every single game has it going on, obviously, but it definitely seems, and it could just be the day and age, right, that we have everything, everything pops up in your phone, so everybody sees it, right?
Yeah, who knows? This could have been going on before.
Correct.
Now, player props are more prominent now, but in terms of throwing games or something, it's much easier to see it now, and especially when it's like, bet on one pitch, and here's the pitch. It's like, oh, well, of course he threw a ball.
And for these guys that have no idea, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll just throw a ball, we'll make money, and who cares? Because then I'm going to go about my business and try to, do the best I can and win for my team, but they just don't realize that, anyway, you can't do that.
This is the best thing I saw this week.
Oh, here we go.
And it's Nikola Jokic. We love Nikola Jokic on this show.
Love him.
And he was quite happy after his horses won the race here. He's there with his brothers watching the horse race. And there's his horse going by. I mean,
I think it's fucking hilarious that in Serbia it's all the chariot racing.
I know. Is that the only thing they do? They don't run like regular.
It's called a harness. I believe it's called harness racing here or whatever. But it just looks like the chariot. They have a couple like racetracks up in the Northeast that do it. It's very, very boring to watch. But as long as Jokic is happy,
right,
and drunk, that's all that matters. It's anyway. He cracks me up.
I saw that like. He has a potential next year to sign like a 3-year like big super max extension. I'm like, it's 50-50 whether he just fucking retires. Like, I don't know if he's gonna sign that thing.
I hope he takes some money and just balloons up to like 350 pounds and plays.
Actually, would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's just like
he's already fun to watch.
Halfway get up the court and just throw bombs and passes. That would be great. Great for the game.
Quick topic here. Just curious your thoughts, because this happened yesterday, and we talked about it a little bit before, but USA loses to Mexico in the Gold Cup final. They go up 1-0 and somehow concede 2 goals in the second half of the game. Or maybe Mexico scored late first half.
Yeah, they scored late first half, and then the second half, the USA just stopped. I don't understand it. They scored. They looked good the first 15 minutes. They're pressing high. I was watching the game with some guy that was actually from Germany that knows soccer, and he was give me credit for saying the right thing. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't understand it.
Who is the manager? Like,
it's
where did he come
Mauricio
from?
Pochettino. He's been around, but he was Tottenham's old manager. He was a manager for PSG. But the problem is when you have guys like Pulisic who are sitting out, and I get what he typically doesn't play the Gold Cup. Those are the facts. But it doesn't matter when you're gearing up, going into a World Cup year. You have to play as many games as possible, with these guys. And some people will be like, oh, a year's enough time. These other countries, France, Germany, you think these guys are saying, oh, no, I'm not going to play. I'm going to wait for the World Cup. No, that's not how things work. And that's a problem with the soccer culture in this country that has to be fixed. Just like that we let our stars get away with it. That doesn't happen in other countries.
Yeah.
Like even the guys that are 38 that are like about to retire still play these games. And if they, want to be on the World Cup and the stars play, like, listen, if Kylian Mbappe can play for France in their, or for France in their League Cup games, or it's called the Nations League over there, and then also play in the Club World Cup, and then we have Christian Pulisic sitting out of the Gold Cup. I just don't get it. It irritates the shit out of me. I also don't understand. I never understand why in soccer teams go up 1-0. If you're completely outmatched, I get it. You're playing for a draw ultimately.
Sure.
But in that game against that Mexico team is not very good. So they're better than us, right? But a lot of it had to do with the way we were playing. I mean, you get a beautiful header goal right out of the gate, and then literally you just have everybody in the final third sitting there just asking to get scored on.
Right.
So
for 75 minutes.
Right, and they were never gonna.
We're not good enough to play that way anyway.
It would be something if we were actually trying to hit them on a counterattack, or like we're sending guys forward when we do get possession of the ball, but we were not doing that. There's nobody forward, so I don't know.
Is
I
that
don't
the
understand
full Mexico team? Is that
I'm
their
not.
full
I'm not
team?
too sure. I couldn't talk, specifically on it.
Sure.
I think that's most of Mexico's team.
Yeah.
They had more of their stars than we did. Like Raul Jimenez is their big striker, and he was playing. So yeah, I don't know. It was a frustrating loss. It's not the end of the world, and we didn't have our A team there, but that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
So
it has us. I just looked up the soccer rankings. We're 16th, Mexico 17th. So I would assume with our full roster, we would have had a good chance to win. But like you said, it makes no sense for them not playing.
Right,
it just doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it.
All right. Let's move on here. We're going to go right into news or fake news. We'll just go to a bunch of these little segments here today.
Let's see it.
Okay. Number one, and spoiler, you looked this up before.
I did.
Cowboys Cavante Turpin arrested on 2 misdemeanor charges of possession of marijuana and unlawful carrying of a weapon.
That is news. I saw it on ESPN. I would have guessed news anyway. Turpin seems like the kind of guy that carries a gun and smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah, this is very out of character of an NFL player. Right? This is
Never
more.
would have guessed it.
Look, this is more Georgia Kirby Smart behavior.
Right.
Okay, this is not NFL drugs and guns. NFL players never been an issue.
And by the way, I just sent you a clip, which is like the craziest thing I ever heard, and it's a true story. This guy is like an old reporter, and talks about the Cowboys. This is a true story from the Cowboys locker room.
Wait, what is it about?
Yeah, Michael Irving stabbed some other guy in the neck with scissors. I'm not kidding. He was on probation. He said the guy damn well near bled out, and they stopped the bleeding, and the Cowboys gave the guy he stabbed a nice paycheck to not.
Oh, I bet they did.
Go to the police.
Is this the first time that story has ever been reported?
I don't know.
Never heard that before.
Yeah,
it's a
Big
good
Dog's
one.
gonna love it.
Oh, that's good.
It was because it was an offensive lineman that was in the chair getting a haircut, and Michael Irving just went up and started yelling, "Seniority, get the fuck up!"
In the
Seniority,
middle of the haircut,
and like the middle of it, he's like, "I'm not moving." The offensive lineman were like, "Don't move," and they started shoving each other. Michael Irving stabbed him in the neck with scissors.
He must have stabbed him pretty fucking deep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like attempted fucking murder.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's very lucky.
No wonder.
And that's allegedly, because who knows who this guy is. Allegedly.
Now, that's why he loves Jerry Jones so much, because he probably paid that guy off not to press charges. Dear God.
Yep.
Okay, number 2. Former Miami Dolphins safety Rashad Jones had more than $2 million stolen from him by a financial advisor. News or fake news?
Let's say news.
That is news. And it was... So it says, according to an arrest report obtained yesterday, Isaiah Williams, who was Jones' former financial advisor, is accused of stealing $1.58 million from Jones by using his access to the former Pro Bowler's personal bank account. Why the financial advisor has access to your personal bank account is beyond me. You give them a set amount of money to invest, and why he has access to his personal bank account is beyond me. But apparently, not only that, but another $1.1 million was laundered to another woman out of his bank account. Supposedly the guy who stole the initial 1.6 did not know that. Regardless, over 2 million stolen. And it says VP of Merrill Lynch was the guy who did it. So pretty fucking big financial institution, one of the vice presidents. Now, I'm sure there's a million vice presidents, but still,
there are always a million vice presidents when it comes to banking, but still.
Yep. Okay, number 3. Miles Turner signed a 4-year, $107 million contract with the Brooklyn Nets. News or fake news?
That's fake news. He signed with the Bucks.
No fucking way you got that. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm an NBA guy.
Guru over here.
I'm an NBA guy through and through. Love the league. Love the association. Not as much as the WNBA, of course. I love me some great athletes out there playing and just, fundamentals.
Let's see here.
I was going to say I love me some nappy-headed hoes, but we can't put that on there.
Why not?
We definitely can't.
I like that.
That's something that's how you lose a job right there.
Well, congrats on wasting $20 million a year on a guy who shot like 11% from 3 in the playoffs there. But, To each their own.
Money well spent.
It was funny. I was listening to an interview with the Pacers GM or owner, and he's like, we love Miles, and I'm not going to talk about this, but then proceeds to talk about it. And he was like, look, he's an unrestricted free agent, and we threw him a lot of money. We really wanted him to stay, and he just had to do what was best for his family.
Yep.
And so it was all his fault. Like, that's basically what he said. And I think Miles Turner did respond on social media. But in all seriousness, when you're paying Tyrese Halliburton $53 million a year, you're not going to be able to keep guys like that long term. But he had been there for 10 years. Okay, number 4, Miguel Cairo was named the interim manager of the Washington Nationals after Dave Martinez was fired Sunday.
That sounds right. I think Dave Martinez was the manager for them for a long time. So
that's news, and I put on here my note. Only note I have on here is who gives a shit about baseball. But you know, whatever. I wanted to throw an MLB one in there for you.
Thank you.
And that is news. And apparently the Nationals fired their manager and promoted somebody else. So good for them. Hopefully they turn their season around.
The Nationals are horrible.
Good luck the rest of the way for the last 103 games. Okay, number 5, Caitlin Clark earned by far the most votes of all the WNBA All-Stars. She will serve as captain for one team, making her first WNBA All-Star start.
Yeah, that's got to be true.
Definitely news. She was by far the top vote getter.
The Whites went out and voted for her.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because I think
White delegation.
Well, I don't know if it was all the white delegation, but
there was probably a couple black people that live in Iowa that voted for her.
There's some other people like Caitlin Clark. They don't have to be white, but she's only played 9 games this season. She's been out a lot of the time. I mean, that is a pretty low standard there.
I'm tired. Yep, she needs to rub some fucking dirt on it and get out there and
she
play.
really was injured because her numbers are down. And
that's why she was injured, right? That's why she's turning the ball over 42 times a game.
The turnovers are understandable. That's just what she's always done because she tries to make too many plays because she likes, she can thread the needle better than anybody else. The turnovers are on her. The shooting percentage is not like her. She's shooting below 30% from 3 on the season. Like, that's very, very unlike her.
It's pretty bad.
She was 34.5 as a rookie, so she's shooting 29.5 this year. Anyway, she is the top vote getter. Angel Reese somehow snuck in the All-Star game, but only as a reserve.
Scrolling through ESPN, next year we should get Jeremiah, Bailey, Big Dog, your mom, play some women's fantasy basketball.
You want to play women's fantasy basketball?
Yep. And I'm gonna cook the books, get the first pick, and take Caitlin Clark. Actually, I wanted to take Cocaine Bear 1.
Oh, of course you would. Cocaine Bear, by the way, you can play WNBA on 2K now, and Cocaine Bear is a star.
That's crazy that you can
like a 93 3-point shooter on there.
Wow.
You don't fuck with Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear.
Star.
Anyway, all right. Let's go to some. Where do we want to go here? Let's go to some NFL. Okay, we're gonna play a game here.
All right.
It's called NFL More or Less. I'm going to give you a number, a statistic that a NFL player had in the 2024-2025 season, and you're going to tell me more or less this season. Will you have more or less?
All right,
I'm ready. We're going to start with none other than Jared Noodle Arm Goff. And
I love Noodle Arm.
Noodle Arm threw for 37 touchdowns last season, passing touchdowns. Will he throw for more or less this season?
He'll throw for less. He's gonna throw for less. They just run. I mean, that running attack that they have, it's just gonna get. I mean, it's just better. Another year. I mean, losing the center hurts obviously to retirement. No one saw that coming, but yeah, no. Between Montgomery and Gibbs, it's just a nasty 2-headed attack.
I wonder with Ben Johnson gone, if this team declines a little bit.
Or maybe Ben Johnson was holding them back and they're even better.
Well, I'm just thinking if they're going to be worse this year and they're behind more, maybe they throw more this year than they have in the past years because they do run the ball a lot. But now that said, I don't know if they're going to pad their stats the way they did with Ben Johnson.
Right.
So
they were still throwing the ball when they were up 40 points.
Trust me, I know. I took the brunt end of it on fantasy. Okay, let's see here. Number 2. All right, we've got Baker Mayfield. 41 passing touchdowns last year, more or less this year.
Less as well. I mean, they're just going to
be, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a shit ton of touchdowns, and they're going to run the ball more, I think, too.
Yep.
Bucky Irving just a little bit better.
How about Will drafting Bucky Irving in the 3rd or 4th round last year?
Dude, it's big brain shit right there.
It's demonstrated.
Will is, he's playing chess. We're playing tiddlywinks.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 28 passing touchdowns with the New York Jets. More or less this year on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's only like what? That's less than 2 a game. If he plays the whole year.
If he's healthy, he'll get like 30 or 30.
I kind of think so too. That's kind of what I think his number will be. Okay, number 4, Kyler Murray. Had 11 interceptions last year. Will he throw more or less picks?
I'll throw more. A little midget.
That is a lot of interceptions, but he's pretty terrible. Okay, Bijan Robinson ran for 1,456 yards last year. He was 3rd in the NFL in rushing, more or less over or total rushing yards in 25-26.
I'm going to say just over. He'll be like right there in that neighborhood again, I think. We'll see how bad Penix is. If Penix can prove he can throw it, they'll have to maybe move someone out of the box. But I don't know. I think he's going to be right about there. I'll say 15-20.
Can you name who ran for more yards? It was 2 running backs last year.
Saquon and Derrick Henry.
Oh, look, fucking guru today.
That was
perfect on fit news or fake news.
I mean, my God.
Knew where Miles Turner signed and now knew the exact 2 rushers above.
Yep.
Now that's big brain shit right there.
Big brain shit.
That's big brain shit.
Okay. Got every sport up in there too. It's tough.
It's pretty good. Okay, let's see here. Let's go. I've got a good one for you.
All right.
Rico Dowdle.
I love me some Rico.
He had an entire 2 rushing touchdowns last year, more or less this season.
Is he still a Cowboy?
He is a Carolina Panther, I believe. Am I right about that?
Oh yeah, he did go to the Panthers. He will have.
He's a backup there.
Yeah, he is. He'll still have more.
2, yeah, I think so too.
I
2 is crazy.
I think he'll have three or 4 touchdowns.
He ran for over 1,000 yards and only had 2 touchdowns.
Yep, Rico's the man.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Big Dog's boy. Called him in training camp like 7 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he called him to be playing the NFL when he was already playing in the NFL.
And he called the Halabon.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
1,263 receiving yards, more or less this season.
I'm going to go more.
Really?
Yeah.
He's going to have a big year.
I think he's going to have a big year. I think last year when you look at it, it was obviously he didn't have a lot of touchdowns, right? He had the yards, but no touchdowns.
He had 5. No, I take it back. He had 12 touchdowns.
Oh, he did have 12 touchdowns?
I was looking at the wrong guy.
I think maybe he got him late in the year.
Yeah, he didn't have. I think they kind of came.
They were trying to get him. I think that's why they were throwing late and trying to get him going.
Right.
I'm going to say he's going to have. I'm going to go 1,400 yards this year for him.
Okay, that's probably a good spot there. Okay, here's a good one for you. Brock Bowers, your boy, the all-white, all-American tight end. 1194.
Yeah, no hair. I mean, looks like he plays a little ball at the local YMCA.
He kind of does. He had 1,194 receiving yards last year as a rookie tight end, which is pretty unheard of. Will he have more than that this year?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Fuck yeah. You out of your mind? He's got Geno slinging him the rock now. Geno's
crazy considering
a
his
poor
quarterback.
Man. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Geno, listen, Brock's going to be open. Geno will get him the rock. Brock Bowers, how many yards did he have last year?
1,194.
He's going to have 1,450 this year.
Wow. How many touchdowns? He had 5 last year.
11.
11 touchdowns and what? Did you say 1,500 yards?
Yep.
That's a bold prediction if I've ever seen one. Dear Lord. Okay.
Yeah, no one else to throw it to, brother.
I would trust me. I know.
Triple team.
Last year with fucking Aiden O'Connell, I'm playing in a PPR league, and it's like got 14 catches for 11 yards in the game. It was impressive. Okay. Let's see. Let's move on to some college football here.
Let's do it.
I'm
ready for some college football.
I'm dying for some college football. I was listening to some college football talk this weekend.
Dying for some college football.
You know what? 8 weeks till we get a real game, I think, something like that. It's about 2 months, right? A little bit less because we're going beginning of September. And we got that week 0 always. I'm gonna spurt off some questions to you here and just tell me what you think, and we'll discuss them kind of quickly here. But let's start with number 1. Everyone on planet Earth right now in the college football sphere is anointing Arch Manning as the next Heisman. As
did you see Steve?
Number 1 overall, I did see the
well, I mean,
Spurrier,
if he's so good, then why is Quinn Ewers starting, huh? Well, we're gonna have to start. Just a good question for the head football coach.
Well, here I will say, it's not a bad point, but I will say this before I get into the question. Because I've seen a lot of people say that. If he's so good,
why? It was a different situation.
I think he was better than Quinn Ewers. I think everybody thought that, number one. Number two, we've seen this happen in college football multiple times. You go back to Georgia when they had Justin Fields.
Right.
Justin Fields was better than Jake Fromm. Everybody knew it. And Kirby Smart went with Jake Fromm.
Yep.
Why? Because college football coaches love consistency. They do. They don't like change. If they can avoid change and minimize variance, that's what they're going to do. They had Jake Fromm. They knew it worked. We have a chance to be really, really good. We were really good the year before. It was even more so with Texas, where they were legitimately one play away from playing for a national title. And similarly, in this season, despite Quinn Ewers' struggles for a lot of the year, they were one snap, first and goal from the one, away from tying the game in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to play against Ohio State, the team that blew the next team out in the national championship, blew Notre Dame out in the national championship. Texas wins that game. They very well likely win the championship, right? So, to me, I think we've seen this before. We even saw it. I know this was a little bit different because Tebow was a freshman. We saw Fields sit. I think, didn't Fields sit for 2 years, or did he and then leave, or did he only sit for one?
He sat for one.
He sat for one, but he was going to have to sit again, I believe.
I think so.
Fromm was coming back, so he left. But we saw it with Tim Tebow and Chris Leak as a freshman, right? Chris Leak was by far the worst of the two quarterbacks, but he worked, and they won a national title that way. Nobody was going to say Tim Tebow wasn't better. He was. Same thing. To me, we saw Arch come in. He played 3 games. He threw 9 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Was it against subpar competition? Yes. But a lot of times you see college football quarterbacks come in their first couple times playing in a real environment like that, and they don't look very good. They look like the moment's too big. The moment's not too big for Arch. He's been around this his whole life. He's been exposed to everything. To me, he's going to be fine. My question to you was going to be, do you think it's fair for everybody to be anointing him the Heisman? And moreover, do you think he will be at the Heisman ceremony in New York? Will he be a finalist for the Heisman this year?
I'll say he's going to be a finalist, but he didn't win it. And yeah, I mean, I think it's fair. I mean, I don't know if you could say it's fair, but yeah, I mean, that's just what he's dealt with his, as soon as he came out of high school, he's going to be the bona fide number 1 pick, just depending on when he came out. And I mean, if you see the video of him playing against these high school kids, the high schools he was playing against in New Orleans or wherever he was at, I think it was New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Christian school.
Yeah, they look like bad JV teams down here. So no one really knew. But obviously, what he did at the camps and then the Manning pedigree is like, yeah, of course. Like, I mean, everybody's going to anoint you that. You just got to be ready for it. I think he's ready for it. We'll see how he plays. I think he's going to be good. I get what Steve Spurrier's trying to do and trying to say, because it's old ball coach Steve Spurrier's probably drunk when he was talking about it. But, I think everybody knew that he was better than Quinn. It was just always the arrangement that Quinn got paid and Quinn was going to be the starting quarterback.
Right.
Art should have definitely played more, definitely in goal line packages. But anyway, that's another discussion for another time. Yeah, he's going to be, I think he'll be good. Think he'll be at the ceremony. Don't think he wins it.
Don't think he wins it. Okay.
Right.
Does Texas play for a national title this year?
Man, I don't know. Probably not. They'll probably blow it.
Do you think they have
They'll probably
best?
Get to the Final Four.
I don't
Their
disagree.
schedule is a fucking joke as far as like how that's why they're obviously like to get into the playoffs, like for an SEC schedule, like I was looking, it's like UTEP, UTSA. I think they play all of them and Sam Houston State. Go Miners, go Bearcats. Love you both. Our Bearcats, big time Bearcat show here. But as far as, the SEC schedule goes, like even the teams are playing in the SEC, it's an easy,
I don't disagree.
Basically, you look at their schedule, and it's like there's no way they lose more than 2 games.
Very unlikely.
So they're in.
Yeah.
Barring a major injury, right?
They made it with Arch Manning, with the Arch Manning factor, if he's really good,
right.
If their defense somehow turned out to be bad, which is very unlikely, and they lose 3 games, I think there's still a good chance they get in.
Right.
And I don't think they will. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. To be fair to Texas, though, when you go on the road to Ohio State week 1, you kind of
right.
I'm okay with them scheduling because I'm normally the one that's like, it's bullshit. You're going to play all these like shitty schools. But if you're playing at Ohio State week 1 and then your other 3 games are San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston, okay, I'm okay with that.
No, that makes sense.
If you're going to play at Ohio State, I would rather a team do that than go like 2 subpar, FBS schools that are not great. Not that those aren't FBS schools, but two non-power 4 schools that are, below average and then play 2 shitty schools as opposed to playing 3 shitty schools and get 1 really, really tough opponent.
And sometimes it's just the way, it's the way the SEC schedule sets up. So they got a good, they got a good
draw because they just went the same. It's just the same schedule as last year, but flipped home and away, right? So like they're gonna have to go to Georgia and they're gonna have to go to Ohio State. Those two games alone are tougher than probably anybody else's two toughest games, but the rest of their schedule, like
for sure.
But look, I will say it could turn out to be tough. At Florida could end up being a tougher game than people think, and then A&M, the last game of the season, even if it's in Austin, is still not an easy game if A&M is any good.
Right.
So they do have losses on there. Oklahoma's still in a neutral, so it's like there are good teams. Are they going to be favored in 11 of their 12 games? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But maybe 10. I don't know if they're going to be favored. Are they favored at Ohio State? I would think they are. I would think they're a short favorite at Ohio State.
At Ohio State? Yeah, I'm not sure.
I would just guess that they are just because of the fact that Ohio State lost their quarterback specifically. Right. They lost their best running back, their best receiver. Like, I don't know. I would guess Texas is favored in that game. But the only one I would say they're probably going to be a dog in is Georgia. Maybe they're a dog in both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. True or false? The national champion will come from the SEC this season. Currently, Texas, Georgia, and Bama have the 3 best odds of winning the SEC, followed by, I believe it goes LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, A&M, Florida, South Carolina, Auburn.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the SEC wins it this year.
Who do you think? I know this is hard, but if it's not Texas, who's more likely of those teams?
Georgia. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go one step further then. If Texas, Georgia, and Alabama are the 3 favorites in the SEC, one of those 3 teams doesn't win it. Who is the most likely to unseat one of those 3 and win the SEC?
It's a tough question.
By the way, I will say while you're thinking real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, while you're thinking, the disrespect shown to Diego Pavia and my Vanderbilt Commodores is disgusting.
We were talking about
the second worst odds to win the SEC, 300 to 1. 300 to 1. It's disgusting. Bold prediction alert. My Vanderbilt Commodores will win 8 games this season. 8-win football team.
Me and Bailey just looked at their totals, 4.5.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Hammer the over.
It's
Lock
minus,
of the century.
Minus
Lock
180.
it in right now.
But we were just looking before the show because we were curious. If it's not them, it's going to be LSU.
LSU? Okay.
I do think Nessmeyer's good.
Well,
and I think they can score a shit ton of points. I think they're going to score a lot of points this year.
And they throw the ball an absurd amount of times.
Yep.
Ohio State's currently the favorite in the Big Ten, despite not even playing in the Big Ten title game last year. Obviously, they won the national championship. Should the Buckeyes be favored to win the Big Ten, or should it be Penn State or Oregon?
It would be Oregon if they didn't lose their quarterback, right? And so they both lost their quarterback. No, I would say to actually win the big, man, I don't know, because Franklin can't win the big game. Yeah, I would say it makes sense that they're not, because Penn State never gets over the hump. Ohio State's more talented. I just think that Penn State, with the way they're going to run the ball again this year, that it gives, with both those teams losing their quarterback, right, Oregon and Ohio State, that's why I give them the edge to win it, just because they're going to be able to run the ball, and I don't like, Drew Allure much, but I do think he's, probably going to be better than whoever especially early on. And, maybe the new starters for Oregon and Ohio State are going to be really good later in the season. But early on, my initial thought is Penn State.
No, I completely agree. I actually wrote almost exactly what you said. I know I get why Ohio State is. They're still probably one of the highest paid rosters. But when you lose your quarterback and you lose they lost a lot on the defensive side too. If you think about the past years, what's been Ohio State's issue getting over the hump under Ryan Day, it's been more defensive issues. They've not lived up to the hype. And then to Will Howard's credit, he played good enough with all the talent around him. They lose him. They lose, Jack Sawyer on the back end. They lose a couple other big defensive pieces. And you look at Penn State, the biggest thing, I agree, is just I don't love Drew Allure, but he's better than what Ohio State and Oregon have right now. So You're returning your quarterback. I don't like James Franklin. Will he mess it up? Very, very likely. I think Penn State should be the favorite in the Big Ten. If you're looking, I don't think there's value because the favorites are all so juiced. I think Penn State's plus 230 to win the Big Ten. It's too low. But I do think there's a very, very good chance that Penn State does win the Big Ten.
Right.
At least is playing for a Big Ten title. Okay. Give me a team from outside the Big Ten or SEC most likely to reach the college football playoff semifinal. One team from not in
Notre Dame, please. God,
Notre Dame is not going back.
God's
Never forget Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois, the loss at home under Riley Leonard and company. Notre Dame, that will forever be their name. I don't care that they got to the national title game and got spanked because they had the easiest road of anybody because they got to beat James Franklin and Drew Allard. Congratulations. We just shit on them for 10 minutes. Notre Dame is not going. The team that is going, if there is a team, is Clemson. And it's because of Cade Klubnik. Now, I don't think Cade Klubnik is great at all. I'm not saying that. But he did show some flashes at the end of the season. He played really good against Texas. And I'm not saying that I like Cade Klubnik. I'm just saying if there was a team to go, I think they're the most likely because God loves Dabo Swinney. All right? God loves Dabo. And by default, then, God loves Cade Klubnik. And Cade Klubnik, as bad as he's been, and he's underperformed his whole career, if you think back, this is not an accurate comparison, but I'm going to make it anyway. Joe Burrow was not good his junior year. He wasn't. Nobody thought he was going to be great. They were very average. I think they won 8 games that year. I think they started 8-0 and then lost out. And he threw a lot of interceptions. And then all of a sudden, as a senior, he was the best player in the country. And I think there's a possibility. It's not a big possibility, but there's a chance that Klubnik has some sort of Burrow-esque senior year where he just plays really, really. I'm not saying he's going to throw for 50 touchdowns. I'm just saying where he takes a big step that nobody expects, right? And if he does do that, I'm not saying he's going to. If he does, then Clemson's a national title contender because they made it to the playoff last year with not a great team, and he wasn't that great. They made it to the college football playoff, I mean. So, to me, I think it's Clemson, and it's definitely not Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's going to win the whole fucking thing.
All right, let's move on. We're going to talk a little NBA because there is a bunch of stuff happening in the offseason. So I'm going to give my biggest winners and losers.
Yes, please do.
Of the offseason, and we can discuss them real quick.
Okay.
Because I know you want to do that
I
badly.
Can't wait.
Biggest winner number one is going to be the Denver Nuggets. Now, they traded Michael Porter Jr. That in itself is a massive win. Getting him off the books, getting him off the roster is a massive win. I don't know if you saw the trade, but it was essentially just Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson, and the Nuggets had to also trade a first-round 2032 unprotected pick. Now, giving away, on surface, you look at it, and it's like Michael Porter Jr. is 27, and Cam Johnson is 29. And you're like, why would you give away a first-round pick in addition to getting an older dude? But when you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. So you look at them from a production standpoint, Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. are very, very similar. Both average around 18 a game. Both shot at about 39, 40% from three the last year. Cam Johnson's a slightly better defender. And that's not saying much because Michael Porter Jr. is atrocious. He might be the worst starting wing defender in the NBA.
Wait, they traded Michael Porter Jr.? Is that what you've been saying?
Are you not paying attention?
No, I'm looking at other NBA stuff.
Yes.
I thought that, okay.
Yes, they traded Michael Porter Jr.
I thought that's what you were getting at.
Yes, they did. For Cam Johnson, straight up. But the key here is that Cam Johnson over the next 2 years is going to make $21 and $23 million, and Michael Porter Jr. is set to make $38 and $40.
Yeah.
So you're
just get it off the books.
You're getting the same production for half the cost,
and you have to sign Jokic.
You have to sign Jokic, and here's the thing: your window for if you're the Nuggets, right? What does the 2032 pick matter at this point, right? Like. Your window with a generational player is now. You have one title. You've got to try to win a second. And to me, they're actually trying to do it this year. I mean, they're going to try and do it over the next couple years. But this year especially, because if you look at the other pieces they got, I thought it was great. One massive pickup. They got Jonas Valanciunas. Is he phenomenal? No. But they were the number one team in NBA history in net rating when Jokic was on the floor last year. And they were the 32nd out of 32 teams in net rating when Jokic was off the floor offensively. And they had no backup center. And so, what was it, DeAndre Jordan? Like, they had nobody. Jonas Valanciunas is similar to Jokic. He's not the same. He's not as good. He doesn't have the same skill set. But he is somewhat, you can put in Valanciunas now and play him in place of Jokic, and he doesn't have to play 40 minutes a game. That is a huge, huge, underrated pickup, in my opinion. Like Valanciunas a lot. They then went back and added Bruce Brown. If you don't know who that is, he was actually a key piece of their finals run. He was like their seventh man.
I know who he is, yeah.
He averaged about 11 and a half a game during that run.
He played at University of Miami, didn't he?
I believe, yes, he did.
I'm
he did.
Fucking genius.
And So
just been hanging around big dog too much.
And he's been on 3 teams the last 2 years, and they got him back for cheap on a 1-year deal, right? And then they went out and added Tim Hardaway Jr. on a 1-year deal as well. So they added a lot of little good pieces. The only thing I would prefer, if Russ opted out of his player contract or a player option, I wish he would have stayed, because I think they have a legit shot to win a title. But like, it makes sense, right? The Thunder are only getting better, right? Now cap issues are going to come into play soon for them. They just signed SGA, but re-signed him to that Supermax. But regardless, I really like what the Nuggets did. They're my biggest winner, number one. And Jokic seems to be very, very pleased with the moves that they made as well.
You know me as the European basketball expert here. I don't know if you know this, but I saw Reddit. Jonas Valanciunas doesn't want to play for the Nuggets. He wants to play for Panathinaikos in the EuroLeague because they offered him like a shit ton of money. So the whole deal is the Nuggets are telling him they're not going to let him out of his contract.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That was just good. I read that the other day, but yeah, they offered him a bunch of money. Apparently, I don't know what it was, but they made it to the Final Four in the EuroLeague this year. I don't think they won it. I can't remember who won it, but I don't believe it was them.
I just saw one day ago, Nuggets expect Valanciunas to honor the deal.
Yeah.
So I guess he is going to stay.
Well, they say, it says
they expect him to fulfill
Jonas
his contract.
Valanciunas agent notified Panathinaikos, whatever, that he wanted to leave the NBA.
When was that?
One day ago.
I
mean, who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I think he'll stay. I don't think.
I don't think he's got a choice. I think he's going to stay.
Yeah, he forfeits the money, and he probably would get penalized for that. He would never be able to come back. Not that he's what, 33? That's so weird. I wonder why. I guess money. Okay. Next one. My next biggest winner is actually going to be very simple. It's the OKC Thunder.
Okay.
Because they lost nobody. They didn't gain anybody, but they didn't lose a single guy from their rotation. You have a championship roster that's young, and you bring back every single minute from the playoff run. That's just very uncommon. You don't see that, so they can run it back with a team that's very young, that's only going to get better, that just won a championship. And you have some of the guys, like the Pacers, Halliburton's going to be out the entire year next year. The Celtics, Jason Tatum's going to be out the entire year next year. The Bucks just lost Dame Lillard. I don't know who's even ever coming out of the East, so you're basically just get out of the West, and you're probably going to win. And you got LeBron a year older, right? I don't think the Lakers are going to be real contenders. There's nobody. It's going to be them and the Nuggets, it feels like, and I guess the Rockets maybe, depending on how that KD trade goes.
Oh, dang. Trey Johnson went to the Wizards. That's where careers go to die.
That's it. Yeah, Jordan Poole just got out of there, actually.
Where did he go?
I think the Pelicans signed him, I want to say.
Of course
I think it was the Pelicans.
A fucking terrible decision that is.
It was the Pelicans. Okay. Now, gonna go to biggest losers. No, biggest loser number one is the Houston Rockets, and people from Houston hate this, and usually I think most everybody else kind of agrees this was a bad move. At least the people I've talked to. I don't understand this move. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. Giving away Jalen Green and giving away a top 10 pick in a very high draft makes absolutely no sense for a 37-year-old. I don't get it. I really don't. I get if you look numbers wise, it makes sense. Right? Like, he averaged 26 a game. He shot 40% from three. He shot 50% from the field. But the guy is not the same player that he was 5 years ago. He just isn't. If you watch him on the floor, he's not. They did not make the playoffs this year. They didn't make the playoffs, not even the play-in game. They were horrible. They were swept the year before. So he's just not been the same, like, franchise-changing player that he's been in the past. Now, I understand why the Rockets did it. They're trying to win now with the way the cap deal works. If Jalen Green ends up being really good, are they going to be able to keep him and what's the big man's name? I can't.
Sengun or whatever.
Right? Like, are they going to be able to keep all these young guys? And they have one of the twins that they drafted too. I don't know. So I guess it makes somewhat sense in that Durant's only going to be there for 2 years, but feels like he gave away a couple of pretty decent assets for a guy who's 37. Is he 37 or 39? He might be
it's 37.
37.
Yeah.
I
think maybe he'll be 38, like right before the season starts.
Yeah, maybe gives you 2 to 3 years, if that. Thought they were one of the biggest losers. Number 2 is the Golden State Warriors. They didn't do anything, not one move. Now, I understand they got Jimmy Butler at the end of the season or middle of the season.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Butler's 35. Draymond Green is 35. Steph Curry's 37. This team was not a competitive, not a finals contender last year.
Right.
And they do nothing to improve their roster, and you think you're going to win a championship? I don't get it. If I'm Steph Curry, I'm taking a pay cut. I'm telling Jimmy Butler to do the same. and I'm restructuring my deal and trying to bring somebody in. If that's what you care about. Those guys are never hurting for money the rest of their lives.
Right.
So if Jimmy's never won a title, he wants to
I don't know.
win one.
I don't know if
he might not care.
It's going to be tough to talk Jimmy
they're not
going to
do that. I'm just saying that's what I would do.
They might. I mean, if now Curry's won a few, and I don't necessarily think that. I mean, he definitely wants to win. I don't know if he'll take much of a pay cut, but if they took a few $1 million off each and whatever and got somebody else, but yeah, I don't know.
Last one, biggest loser, LA Clippers. Why? Because they re-signed James Harden.
Oh,
for $41
the
million.
bearded monster's back, baby.
$41 million a year at the age 36, right? A guy who has been inconsistent his entire life.
My God. This aggression will not stand.
Who has been a magician in the playoffs, and I don't mean that in a good way. In a now you see me, now you don't, where he just fucking disappears for games on end. We're going to pay that guy in his 16th season, $41 million a year.
He's a leader of men.
They did go out and get John Collins and Brook Lopez, but they lost Norman Powell. So they bring in a guy and John Collins to average about 18 a game. They give away Norman Powell, who's their best.
Where did Norman Powell go?
I'm not actually sure, but I think they lost him in free agency.
Right.
But they give away one of their best scorers, not just off the bench, one of their best scorers in Norman Powell. You're a team who lost in the first round last year to another team who lost the following round. You didn't lose to the champions, right? You lost in the first round. And I think Steve Ballmer, as much as I love him, has really messed this up. I don't understand what he like.
Gotta love Stevie.
You should be trading sign and trade Harden, trade Norman Powell, trade all these guys and get whatever like bits and pieces in draft capital you can get back and reboot the thing. It's a failed experiment. You messed up with the Paul George trade. You messed up getting James Harden. You messed the whole thing up, and you're spending. They're the only team besides the Milwaukee Bucks who operated at a deficit last year. And it wasn't a little deficit. It was a big deficit. They lost a lot of money last year. The Clippers did. Milwaukee lost a little bit.
Steve Ballmer gets $1 billion a year.
I understand.
In you think that motherfucker cares?
No, he doesn't.
He wants to hang banners.
But that's my point.
For the good people of,
for Los Angeles. Of all the loyal Clippers fans?
Yes.
That's
for
the
Billy
loser.
Crystal.
By the way, what are your thoughts?
Only Clippers fan I know.
What are your thoughts on the Spurs draft?
I mean, it was just what we were always going to do. I wanted Queen is who I wanted.
I did too.
I really did. I thought crazy ass Gilbert Arenas was on a podcast with, I think it was the one with Barnes and Matt Barnes and whoever it is, and they were talking about he was saying, which I don't agree with, but he was saying like he liked him so much that he would even take him at 2. He didn't think he was going to be out of like the top 5, and he was like the skill set that he has is like he was like a poor man's Jokic where he can actually pass the ball and stuff. He was like he thought he would be really good in San Antonio. So I was really upset not getting him.
I will say I was happy looking back on it, the way it played out. I was happy that he went the pick before us for this reason. The Spurs picked Carter Bryant so damn fast. Like the pick was in 30 seconds that they were taking him the entire way. So I think if Derek Queen was there, I think we would have passed on him, and that would have made me absolutely livid. So in the sense that I didn't want to lose my mind, I was glad he went the pick before us because I don't think we were going to take him anyway. I think we wanted Carter Bryant from the jump.
Bailey, can you tell me what the fucking Grizzlies are doing getting this Chinaman from China over here to play? They already have Zach Edey.
No, yeah, they drafted him and traded him, I believe, because I said the same thing.
Traded to Portland. Okay, I was about to say, why did they just draft a more Chinese Zach Edey?
I said the same thing. I said, that might be the dumbest draft pick I've ever seen, and then I saw, draft rights to Portland.
Big Dog was like, oh, what a pick. The Twin Towers. Big. It's going to be Edey and Young the Taipei what?
The Taipei Towers. That's a good one.
I love it. I'm gonna go on the record, and this is gonna curse young man's career, and I hate to do this to him. You're gonna like this because you hate Baylor. I think VJ Edgecombe's gonna be really good.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Honestly. I know you hate him.
No,
Jay Billis was talking about it, and I know you don't like any Baylor player to be good, but he was talking about it the other day, and I saw the reaction after he got drafted. It was just like a good, like just happy to be there. It's like I'm gonna go. My lunch bill, I'm going to come into work every day. And Jay Billis was like, he was saying that he's the best defender in the draft. And he's like, and he's the most athletic. So it's like the upside of him. And I was like, I think he's going to be pretty good. I just like the way he handled being drafted. And you got guys like Ace Bailey who act like
Agreed.
clowns.
Agreed.
So I'm just saying, like, who knows how good he's going to be, but I did like the way he acted, and I don't know. I think he's going to be pretty good.
He's a good dude, and I think he gave I thought I read that he gave his entire NIL money away to charity. Like, I don't think he kept any of it, which is impressive at that young of an age. And I think isn't he from the Bahamas? I think that's correct.
Probably.
I think he's from the Virgin Islands. Anyway, no, I think he's a good guy, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm rooting for this guy. But the fact that you just said that he's going to be a really good player,
star.
We need a board.
He's going to be a star.
A star.
Big Dog agrees too. We're going to put a star up there next to him.
We need a board where we can put Turner's predictions up and then show what then happens to that player. Because it's like it makes the Madden curse look like child's play. It really does. Ask Juju Watkins.
I hope he doesn't get hurt.
Ask Juju Watkins, who tore ACL the day after.
I'll have to reach out and apologize if he gets hurt.
No, but in all seriousness,
you don't know me, but this is my fault.
Not a single Baylor player has ever turned out to be better than where they were picked. Like, if you redraft every Baylor player that was drafted in the lottery, you would redraft them lower in a redraft.
VJ Edgecombe is a star. Okay, thank you.
I'm rooting for the kid because that's a
star.
Look, he already had pressure being that high of a pick, and now you dump the Turner burden on his back. That's a big load to carry.
I would also like to say, and maybe this will reverse jinx him, Carter Bryant's going to suck ass. So you heard it here first.
Well, I agree with that. I don't think.
I hope that turns his career out. I think that was the worst pick ever.
I don't. It's
the classic. Oh, he's 6'7". He's a great athlete. We're going to teach him how to play basketball. It's like. He scored 6 points a game and he didn't even start at Arizona, right?
He started like the last 10 games.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
he did with Sohan. It's the same thing Brian Wright did with Jeremy Sohan. He didn't start. He was a 6-man, and you pick him that high and expect him to be a top 3 or 4 player on your team. It's just not going to happen. Like, I completely agree. I get why we did it in the sense that what do the Spurs need? They need guys who are going to be 3-and-D and be role players alongside Fox, Wemby, Castle, Harper. Get it. Totally understand the logic of what type of player he is. Wrong guy to get there, I think. I agree with you. There's a reason he averaged 6 points per game. Rarely do you see a guy that unproductive in college turn out to be really, really good. Now, he could be a good role player and make threes and be a defensive guy for us, and maybe that's what we need. But I completely agree. I did not like the pick. I did want Derek Queen. I know he went.
Going through the first round here too. We know we need to wrap this up. Move to WNBA or not? But
I don't have WNBA or not tonight. Unless you want to wait for me to make it. We'll make it if y'all have time. I'll make it real quick.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter. We'll skip a week. I've been on fire. I would have dominated anyway. Shout out my boy that Dylan said would never play professional basketball. Danny Wolf. First rounder.
I can't believe.
Going to be an absolute star.
The fact that somebody
Danny
took
Wolf
that guy
is going to be a star.
The fact that somebody took
Me
that
and
guy
Big
in the
Dog
first round
said we saw that guy play. Whoa, those 80s fundamentals that Danny Wolf has. My goodness.
I thought the Spurs might take him at 14. To be honest, that would have been
Spurs.
Sweet. That would have been.
I would have bought
deal.
A jersey.
100% you would have, and I would have been disgusted.
Bailey said for Christmas he wants a Luke Cornett Spurs jersey.
Oh, Luke, I love the pickup
from your bootleg.
I'll get him one. I love the pickup. We got to get Luke Cornett on the show here. That's our type of guy right
Vanderbilt there.
Vanderbilt man.
Scholar.
Spur. Yeah, we're gonna get him on the podcast. I think that's actually a legitimate possibility. I have a feeling that he doesn't get a lot of podcast requests.
No,
just
please.
saying. Not in a bad way. Okay, last thing, quick game here, and we're done. In the spirit of the NBA free agency, I'm gonna give you a player and a contract. You tell me if it's a real contract or if I made it up.
Okay. I like this. Like it.
And all these teams are the same. Like, this guy is on this team, but is the number correct, or am I exaggerating?
Okay.
And I made it. If it's real, it's obviously exactly. If it's not, it's at least 10 to 15 to 20 million one of the other ways. Okay. Number one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signed a 4-year, $285 million Supermax extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder, worth $71.25 million a year, the richest contract in NBA history. Real contract or fake contract?
I think it's real. I think it went up to $70 million or whatever.
It is real. That is a real extension. He did not take a pay cut, and he's going to get paid the most any player has ever been paid in the history of the NBA. 71.2 a year.
Did you know that they said, and Wemby's going to be like in the same boat, but they said that Cooper Flagg, by the time he's 30, is going to be, he's going to already have $900 million in contracts.
Unbelievable.
Not including endorsements. It's just NBA money.
That's actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That has to at some point come crashing down. There's no way that can sustain.
I don't know.
There's no way. It's got to taper off. There's no way. I don't see there. People are gonna start losing money, and they're gonna not gonna be able to pay people this. The cap will eventually taper off. It has to. It's growing too exponentially, right? Like it's not been linear whatsoever. Okay, number 2, Duncan Robinson signed a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Detroit Pistons, worth $16 million a year. Duncan Robinson. Do you know who Duncan Robinson is?
Yeah, I do. Please. I'm an NBA expert. He's a sharpshooter, bitch.
Yeah. He is white, so you should know him.
Not true.
That is a real contract. He got $16 million a year.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Bailey. Like we were talking about, with Cornette. It's like $10 million a year. I go, that's just like the going rate for like the 9th, 10th guy in your bench.
Ridiculous. Now. It's absurd. Like the veteran minimums are going and the mid-level exceptions, but besides that, it's like you're paying
good for Duncan.
Okay, number 3.
Matt Bonner's like, damn, I wish I played in this generation.
Yeah, he would not been driving around with that Honda Civic.
Him and Scalabrini.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder signed a 3-year, $70 million deal with the Sacramento Kings, worth $23.3 a year.
Oh God, that seems like too much, but that's too much. He's making 18 a year.
It's fake. You're much closer. He's making 15 a year.
Okay.
3-year, 45 with the Kings.
Yeah.
3-year, 45. Okay, here's number 4. Jakob Poeltl signed a 4-year, $104 million extension with the Raptors, worth $21 million a year.
That's probably true, but I had no idea he was still playing.
And he did. That is real.
Yeah.
He's $21 million a year for Jakob Poeltl.
So that's what me and Bailey were talking about there. I was like, when you actually put that in perspective to Miles Turner getting $25 million, I'm like, $25 million is a great deal for Miles Turner. Jakob Poeltl's making 21.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Jakob Poeltl averaged 14.5 points and 9 rebounds last year.
What a star. I had no idea he was that good.
He's
absolute star.
Mason Plumlee, 2-year, $22 million deal with the Hornets, worth $11 million a year.
Mason Plumlee should be dead.
I put him in there just for you.
I fucking hate Mason Plumlee. He's so bad. Like, just watch him play basketball, and I'm like, what? Just imagine being 7 foot tall, but you could be Mason Plumlee. Can't shoot. Doesn't he shoot free? Is he a one-handed free throw guy?
No, he was so bad that they had him switch to his left. So he shoots him lefty.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. And I think he actually shot a little better with his left.
Yeah, being a professional basketball player and not being able to shoot free throws with your dominant hand. Anyway, I actually don't want him dead, but he's horrible. And that's probably a real contract.
It is a fake contract.
Thank
he
God.
got a 1-year, $3.6 million deal.
Thank
so
God.
It's much more
faith in humanity.
Well, it was the Hornets, so it was very believable that they would have done that.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. Jordan Clarkson, 1-year, $11 million extension with the Raptors.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, with the Knicks. Signed with the Knicks.
Sure.
It's fake.
He's probably he's making how much did you say?
I said 1-year, 11.
Oh, Clarkson's probably getting 15 a year wherever he's getting.
At. He signed for the league minimum, or for his minimum of $3 million a year to play with the Knicks.
Wow.
I think he must have done it like as a. I don't know. I'm surprised.
No, maybe
he averaged 16.2 last year.
Yeah, but it's just one of those deals that everybody, who's a guard. That's why I always wondered when he got that first deal. I'm like, what is Jordan like? There's so many guys that can be like Jordan Clarkson. So it's just a weird deal.
And he's not. Yeah, no.
Anyway.
I wouldn't pay him more than the
$3 million's $3 million's bargain.
I mean, that's a good pickup for the Knicks. They didn't really have a lot of cap to work with. They needed to sign somebody for cheap. Okay, number 7, Santi Aldama signed a 3-year, $52.5 million contract with the Grizzlies, worth $17.5 million a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you'd make it even more than that, but I'm gonna say true.
It is true. He signed a 3-year, $52.5
That's Vex's
million
son's favorite player. Shout out.
You know what's funny is I asked him that night, and he goes, "I don't like Santi Aldama."
That's awesome.
It's not. Okay, last one. Ready? LeBron James picked up a 1-year, $68.5 million player option.
News.
That is fake news. He
61
picked up a
million?
1-year, $52.5 million.
Yeah, because I guess he didn't make it to like that next wave.
And he's been traded so many times.
That's the player option deal?
Yeah, and I think he has been traded a bunch, so he doesn't have bird rights, so he doesn't get, but he's still been in the league so long, and he's all NBA and all that, so I'm sure he probably could. I don't know if he can make more than that. I think he could. But apparently, like, him even taking a pay cut wouldn't matter because of the way the apron kind of works. Like, they would only free up so much in cap space by him taking a big pay cut. Like, because people are like, he's a billionaire. What does it matter? Just play for free and try to win a championship, which makes sense. But he actually has been kind of talking about possibly getting traded. He kind of I think he kind of wants to leave. That's what they were talking about. I don't know if they actually will do it, but
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Shout out. I gotta give a shout out to my brother. I'm trying to remember what they did. Oh, my niece Presley went to the Nike Nationals. Did really good. Right. I don't know if I gave her a shout out last week or not, or 2 weeks ago.
We didn't do last week.
Yeah. She ran the 4 and the 800 and the long jump. She won her heat in the long jump, but she was in the top 10 of the country in every single one of those events.
I thought she won her
9th, and 8th. I thought
she actually got first in that. But she got first in her heat.
In her heat. Yep. She got first in her heat.
Still impressive.
8th overall in the country, something along those lines. And my niece Mahaley is at Olympic Development Program in North Carolina for soccer. So also a good achievement.
Just an athletic
shout
family.
out, Merkins girls. Killing it.
Yeah. And shout out Zito's. Go get a serious sandwich.
Yep.
Go visit Brad at Zito's.
Yeah, you've been slacking probably. I'm sure he's like, where the hell is Dylan? My bottom line this month, Dylan hasn't been here.
When it's like $100 a week or whatever, $70 a week. He asked me, he's like, I was about to check on you because I hadn't seen you in a week when I was in Vegas, and then I came back and I went to the beach, and so I actually went over there today, got myself a nice extra crispy, serious, and some nice hot bowl of beans. It was phenomenal.
There you go.
As always. So go over to Zito's, get yourself a serious sandwich. And if you do happen to get in an accident on the way over, call Jeff Davis. 444-4444. Fours are here for you.
We won't quit you, Jeff.
No.
And you should do the gif of you holding Jeff Davis from the Brokeback Mountain scene.
I like that. Or throw that on there. That'll get his attention.
Yeah. If that doesn't get his attention, nothing will. Or you could do the Samuel Jackson and Senor Candy from Django. Either one works.
Yeah, that one's a little more edgy, but I like that too.
I don't know.
I guess we're both white. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would think.
NBA Summer League this week. Enjoy it. Hopefully Dylan Harper plays a little bit.
Is that tonight? Is he supposed to play tonight?
No, they're off tonight. He's going to play in Vegas a couple days. They play, I think, on the 10th.
Got it.
But anyway, hope you guys are having a good summer and enjoying all the no sports going on. Got the British Open coming up in a couple weeks, so we'll talk that next week. But other than that, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nada.
All right. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'll catch you guys next week.